Greetings to you. In two previous videos, I already provided some basic explanations about supplements and vitamins, and I promised there that in another video, I would say which vitamins and supplements I personally recommend based on my own experience, my knowledge, and my research. Look, the number isn't very high. Regarding vitamins, I should mention that for the same reasons I explained in that video about vitamins, I recommend using a multivitamin under normal circumstances. Meaning, when a person gets blood work done and, for example, has a vitamin D deficiency, they need to take very high doses of vitamin D as prescribed by a doctor to bring their levels back to normal. The same goes for B-complex vitamins, or vitamin E, or really any vitamin they're deficient in. If they had symptoms that led them to see a doctor, and the doctor diagnosed them, ordered tests, and those tests confirmed a deficiency in a specific vitamin, then they need to take that one separately. Well, that's obvious, that goes without saying. But in a normal situation where a person doesn't have any specific symptoms, no particular complaints that would have led them to see a doctor, and the doctor hasn't diagnosed them with a deficiency in a certain vitamin, I don't recommend that I go and take a high dose of vitamin E separately, or go and take a high dose of zinc separately. Or just because it's been written in various scattered places that this is good for hair, that's good for skin, this is good for such and such. I don't recommend this. It's not necessary because an excess of these is harmful to the body, and generally our guesses are wrong, and we don't actually have a deficiency of these in our bodies for the reasons I've already mentioned in that same video. However, regarding multivitamins, a very important point that I think is really good to pay attention to is that nowadays multivitamins are separate for men and women, and this is great because the physiological needs of men's and women's bodies are a bit different from each other. They've really taken the time to account for that slight difference in the specific amounts of those multivitamins and minerals, and it's honestly quite good that you get these separately. Plus, they've also thoughtfully separated the plus 50 or over 50 age group as well, which is a great touch. Again, it's much more important and necessary that if you're an individual, whether male or female, over 50, that you use the over 50 one. So, that's the general recommendation I had regarding multivitamins. Now, whether it's gummy, I don't know, a pill, a capsule, whatever form works for you, some people find it hard to swallow pills in capsules, so they should get the gummy version. And, moving on to supplements. For supplements, the first one I recommend is omega-3. Now, as for which brand, what strength, meaning how many milligrams it should be, and so on, you'll gradually get the hang of that yourself. When you go and look at the different packages, based on your own judgment and the quality, choose the one that's good. Here in Canada, when I'm shopping, I personally pick up the Kirkland brand. Specifically, I get the Kirkland omega-3 supplements. And again, please just take note that I definitely don't mean the ones that are a blend or a mix of omega-3, 6, and 9. Just pure omega-3. We don't need 6 and 9. As for 6 and 9, well, I've explained this before in a video. Our diet is such that we get enough 6 and 9 from all these different oils that we use, in our sweets, our biscuits, our food. There are fats that, let me say, have enough 6 and 9 in them. We only need 3 to maintain balance. And as for collagen pills, if they're the ones with vitamin C, I've already explained that in a separate video about collagen. Just about a week ago, so keep that in mind with your supplements as well. So, one is omega-3, 2 is collagen pills with vitamin C, and the next supplement I recommend is garlic pills. It's garlic pills or capsules, which contain concentrated garlic powder, and they come as coated tablets or capsules. They're available in Iran, and they're everywhere in other countries too, and I recommend this. I highly recommend it. Like I said, if I were to explain the reasons, it would take too long. I don't want the video to get too long, just for those who have a history of very low blood pressure. Basically anyone with low blood pressure, use it with caution. Meaning, don't take the dosage written on the back of the bottle, maybe just take half of it instead. They should still keep an eye on it. If, for example, they get dizzy or their blood pressure drops, then naturally, they can't use it. But on the flip side, for those who have high blood pressure or are at the upper limit, this really helps in reducing their need for blood pressure medication a bit. Not that it replaces the medication, no. Keep that in mind. No supplement or vitamin replaces medication. However, some supplements can reduce the need for medication, and that's something that's determined through monitoring. Like measuring it yourself, for example, blood pressure. Let me take this opportunity to mention it right here, and then later, if needed, I can make a separate video about blood pressure. If a person wants to determine what their blood pressure level is, they should, for example, check it twice a day for a week. Or 3 times, for example, in the morning when they wake up, or at noon, and 1 in the afternoon after a meal, and 1, let's say, in the evening or at night. They should measure their blood pressure and write it down. Meaning, exactly on Saturday, they should note down the blood pressure 3 times, 1, 2, 3, with the time, how much it was, and this 1 week of blood pressure, which is 3 times a day, becomes 21 measurements, and they should take this to their doctor to show them so they can tell them how their blood pressure situation is. That way, it can be judged properly and decisions can be made about it. And if it's measured and checked this way, the garlic pill, well, it's not just about blood pressure either. Garlic pills have so many benefits, and blood pressure, for those who have high blood pressure, is just one of the stories. And the last supplement I want to mention here in this video is probiotics. Now, whether it's a pill or a capsule, it doesn't really matter. Again, take a look at your own market. I don't know if you're living in Europe, the Far East, or North America. Wherever you're living, see what's available in that market. Find something that fits your budget and compare different products. This is also very good and necessary, and for those who don't have access to probiotics for any reason or can't afford them, you can use kefir yogurt or kefir drink instead. It does pretty much the same thing. But of course, if you use those ready-made probiotic capsules and pills, they are much better. Well, I'll leave it there for this video. I don't want it to drag on. If there are other points or questions, you can raise them in the Telegram group linked in the video description below, or feel free to message me directly. That's totally fine. You can also just ask right here in the comments under the video, and I'll do my best to explain things there if I can. Good luck!